I just slept for 5 hours. I'm good enough.
Yeah, I do some of those. Not normally, but recently. It's weird. Yeah.
Yeah, excited. Me too.
Yeah.
Oh, here's this interesting thing. I see I see you painting, like painting with your hands. You don't have a paintbrush. You just do this, and from your hands come different energies. The energies, they almost like flickering with different colors we're talking about.
Yeah.
Love for colors. And you're saying that you're trying to change the planet. To change the planet, you have to create a different layer. And you're saying, look how you have this particular flowers you're painting. You know how they look? They look like, mm, like poppy flowers when they collect poppy seeds from them. They look like little boxes, but they look like as if you, let's say, cut a sphere into two halves. Half a sphere with a lid on top.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are you drawing those, and then there are holes on top. And you say those are wormholes.
For new ideas to come through.
Yes, because you say the truth is, it's like as if we were skating on a skating rink, and the skating rink is made out of multiple mirrors, and it's a house of mirrors, or the that we're living on. But unfortunately, they are crooked mirrors because they have a mirror technology that they use to to they have, when you open a phone or an old TV or something, and you see this micro uh, plan, or like passageways, like a labyrinth of different chords, and yeah. mm, so that's how I see that they created a plate, like a layer of that. It's artificially created. It looks like metal. You dissected the whole earth, how they created it, into multiple layers. So the very bottom layer of this half sphere is that metallic plate with multiple encodings in it. It almost like neurons connected to each other,
Mm.
but it's all artificially created. But that's a system that projects another layer. Another layer projects. I see like when you open a card with 3D image popping out of it. I see like countries, buildings, forests, things like that. It's just like open up because that projection from the it irradiates some sort of wave, different wavelengths, which produced images for us in 3D. But that original layer is flat. It looks more like 1D to me. So the 1D goes into 2D in terms of waves, and then the waves go into 3D, which produce that artificial virtual reality we are in.
The pop-up is good. I can see that.
Yeah. And you're saying what you see is not the reality. If you want to save the planet, you have to get down to the planet. You have to uncover all the layers. And it's not that as easy as you think, because everything that you think exists. It's just the little molecules of consciousness that exist. nothing else.
Hmm.
So if they cut a tree, the consciousness leaves a tree. But the truth is that the tree, from that perspective you're looking at it, is not really alive. It's that consciousness expanded into thanks to technology pouring from underneath it, expanded into an image of a tree. But then when you cut it, you kind of cut off the connection technology into consciousness picture, 3D picture connection. So it shrinks down to one dot, to that dot of consciousness or the ray of consciousness or molecule, and then goes back to its original, whatever, where it came from. So you're saying that it's complex. It's not what we really think of. So from and then you show me further space. You love space the most because it actually does have lots of colors. It has unimaginable colors and always blending and moving, the stars and planets rotating and everything in the movement, but you call it a dance. It's a dance. And by the way, also in that half sphere, I never looked at the Earth like that. So in a way, on top is flat, bottom is curved, is round.
Hmm.
You understand the confusion now, right? Flat earthers, round earthers, both correct.
Yeah, I knew it.
Deception, yeah. So you have this interesting thing though. It's like a net over your. It's kind of like maroon colored net over your energy sphere. When it's because you pulled me up with you to space, and I could see it now from there, like zooming out. It's holding. It's got like as if somebody took a square net, put it over you, and pinned it down
Uh-huh.
in 4 spots.
Absolutely.
And that's how you feel, like so heavy down, plugged in. And that's why you start researching how the earth is created, what it is inside. And you're also telling me that it's, you would not believe it. The whole system is, uh, inside that system is the same thing as what they feel solution for clone to grow. There's some special solution that half sphere is filled. It feels like artificial water or amniotic fluid for a baby. The baby has around him, her. Um, and that amniotic fluid is kind of keeps souls nourished.
Mhm.
It's just like you explained that it's an artificial womb or a uterus in which all the souls are kept, which we can call a prison because it gives birth to us to the surface, but then we have to go back. And what kind of life is that if you have to experience rebirth all the time? There's no decision for you. I'm done being reborn into a baby and living my life, and I want to go experience something else. Mm, so that's what you've been figuring out all this time, how it's all located. And then because they use the mirror technology everywhere, um, what we got above is the fixed stars.
Yeah.
In reality, they're dancing. They're not like that. They're not standing like this, like we see them in the sky. This is just projections. It's just a fake. It's almost like a screen with the planetarium. When you walk in and you look at the ceiling, it's all projected into the ceiling.
It's a reference point, isn't it? Like a this adds to that, this connects to that, but it's not the real one.
Right. Everything around us has a clue. every single thing. And especially whatever they show us as in open and public museums, paintings, all this stuff.
I have constellations all over my body. I've got star constellations.
Those are real.
Yeah.
Because you nod, you say, yeah, those are real. And you also pretty smart the way you did it because the net has holes. You get through the holes out of your energy sphere, so they manage to hold the energy sphere down, but you can still get out. What managed AI system? There's no particular being that is standing or controlling you. It's all technology. That's why you don't like technology so much because you totally understand what can really hold a soul down is technology. Because technology produces all those beings that, there's grays and um, others, because they are just became technologically advanced and at some point chose technology over
Yeah.
consciousness.
Yeah.
So that's why you're very careful with it. But when so we're in space with you, and I'm asking you what planet you're from, what galaxy, and you say I am from the ocean of the colors of the universe,
Mm.
because it's like which really reminds me of that thumbnail that I put, I was talking about. It's everything we talked about is kind of coincides, because what I see, it's like, the fan that you open up and you just when you're hot
Yeah.
in the summer, it's like a fan of colors all blended in, and you are just dissolved yourself into different color molecules and connected to each particular Milky Way or um, star cluster, like you call it, to experience it, to observe it. You're more of an observer, and you record information and you come to conclusion you can share if somebody needs it, but you mostly collect it for yourself. You like to observe human behavior also and reactions, but I feel like this is your life number 8, like I clearly see 7 and then ding 8. And it's because I feel like there used to be some beings who try to control you, but you figured them out.
Most of them.
Yeah, you know what, you might see something, even like whatever you see, if you see, there would be projections of this matrix technology around you. There would be the energies shaped in different forms or shapeless. They would be totally from that system under our feet. Because when you become aware, you start seeing how it works. Because you're also telling me there are agents of the matrix. This absolutely matrix architect who created that technology. And there are agents of the artificial source that those agents, we call them as humans are guardian angels. They take you by hand, they bring you to your life, or they bring you to the portal that's supposed to bring you into mother's womb, where you enter the baby's body, and they're agents. The interesting part is that they can switch their outfit look like business suits with ties, and they can switch them from white to black. So if person expects them to be a white fluffy guardian angels, they can even shapeshift into that form. um, Sometimes they show themselves and they're just like they're all the same face. There's like this beautiful looking tall man with light eyes, but they're totally cloned. It's like an army of clones. They call themselves agents of the fake source, and they have the souls that they take care of. They're supposed to watch us. They're supposed to watch us as if we were kids and they're our parents. And that's why they call us children. Because, simply because when you erase the memory of a being, that being becomes a child from point zero, from square one. He or she starts in a different body, you know. And that's embedded into programming that you're little children, you need advice, you need help, you know, you're just developing. You
I
don't
hate.
have enough wisdom to choose for yourself. You need all these government members to choose for you. But now the surface, the lid is flipping. You know, there's a Russian cartoon. It's just like people who would watch this video, who know this cartoon. It's about the planet that has a lid, a surface that flips. On one side, it's beautiful and colorful, all the rainbows and unicorns type thing, utopia kind of for us. On the other side, it's totally like buildings, deserts, not kind of like sad places, suffering places. That's how it is. So the sphere inside the sphere by Pomodoro, that statue in Vatican, is totally representation of that.
Mm.
Except the sphere is cut. So the idea of the sphere is inside is kept inside from us.
We're
The
trying to flip it over, aren't we? Trying to change it over, switch it over.
Right, and that's what we are doing. You know what? Like you're saying that people should understand. We from up there, our higher selves got together. It's like a concilium of higher selves.
I can see
And
we're
we,
holding it, like holding it around in circle.
yes, exactly, like that's what you're telling me. And you're very like determined to tell this to people. That's why you want it to be shown,
Mm-hmm.
to be seen. And you're saying that the thing is, we figured that knowing the human bodily psychology, how we all want comfort. If we are in comfort, we are fine, we're not rebellion. We need to get ourselves to the point of rebellion. And that's exactly what's happening now. But through the point of rebellion, the Draco reptilian empire is gonna fall, and dragons are actually part of it. You showing me a
They're
picture.
not. They're not nice. They are not nice.
Yeah, dragons and reptilians and dracos, those three different races, and they're all like, possessive and want to own this planet and human souls and everything. Yeah, and then we rebellion and they just lose because rebellion means free will and also a realization that we do have free will, and that's what they're afraid of. They're afraid of figuring their game out, and
But
we
we don't.
already did. Yeah, and the more they push us with different rules and regulations, the more response they get. And at some point, even those asleep are just gonna start doubting. They're gonna start doubting that they would stop believing 100% what they're seeing. And there's going to be more and more souls joining the group because the group is big. It really is big. It's not what you think. The numbers are lying.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that involved. It's all smoke and mirrors.
We're getting more magnetic too, aren't we? All of us
Yeah,
acting one.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the in unity we stand type thing. That's what you're saying. That's what's going to save us. That's what saved a lot of planets in the past, and we know that. When beings get united in one idea and it doesn't, nothing else matters. It just because it's a survival instinct of a soul, survival of your soul. That's what it is. That's
Yeah.
when you stop focusing too much on your body, but mostly your soul. The progression of the spiritual that drives us to this. And we are, in a way, we can't really blame. We can't be in this blaming. Oh, they're doing this to us. No, we are stuck here. Okay, there's been a lot of things that got us stuck here. And there was a mistake there too.
Yeah.
And then we'll let it happen in the first place.
Mm.
And now we're just pushing ourselves to the
Mm.
limits where we're gonna just destroy their construction, reconstruct everything, remove it all, and let the planet develop it the way it was supposed to develop. It's supposed to develop its own immune system. It's supposed to let the beings, the evolution happen on its own, spiritually, and even not only spiritually but also technically. There's some technical advancement is gonna come that's gonna help
An
us.
elastic band, it's been held back so long, it just go.
Right,
I heard
to
you describe it, so I
sustain.
can see that so easily all unfold.
Right, because they created everything to make us suffer, to make us focus on the physical bodily pain. When you focused on the pains of the body, of course you're not thinking about spiritual evolution. And asking yourself questions and searching for information. You're searching for information how to relieve the pain of your body and survive. And also, all these things that the body is need. These containers are designed to cause us trouble and to create problems in our lives all the time. So we do need at this point technology to fix the container quickly and just use it to do what we came here to do spiritually.
To remind us what we are.
Right. Yeah. In this way, that's the only way. And that's the right way because it's like using an avatar. You just use it to zoom through the certain, game, if you will. It's the same like kids pick a figure in the game. You have to pick a figure to start the game. You can't start it without it. Can just go and observe our energy simply. If you want to really build something new and beautiful or rebuild on the ruins of the old, you have to have a body here. And that's what they totally know it. And they want was their actions. They want to some people to lose their bodies.
Mm.
That's why, because they know once psh, you're gone, or I mean, they always now that they also you're saying that the contracts are over.
I got
There's
this
a lot of
image, the
programs.
group you were talking about that holds all the souls collected, and they're trying not to let the soul break through, and it's like a little bright, shiny match, like a flame.
Hmm.
They're trying to keep
Right,
it below that surface of the gloopy stuff, and the souls are supposed to go and light, bring all that bright light.
right. Yep. Yeah. But unless the soul collected enough information during their lifetime, which is very essential and important because we do keep all the information after we leave the body. It's in our consciousness. We remember everything from this life for a while, and we remember totally forever all the experiences and conclusions we came to, and we remember how we figured out how the system was lying to us and how they deceive us and to lure into this trap, and all this we know. So if you got to the point in this life when you know, understand how it works, nobody can catch you, nobody can grab you and keep you, because you cleansed yourself from all the influences and all the beings who can possibly um, continue doing this to you, even in different alternative. They created a lot of alternative also. There's an alternative universe. There are parallel reality pockets I see.
I
Uh,
can see slices of different, like plates, all standing upright next to each other.
right,
Yeah.
right, exactly. That's how it looks. Yep. like platforms of creation in the bubble of energy.
Mm.
Unfortunately, the bubbles of energy are, and everything inside are plugged in into real souls who either lost their bodies or who are connected and plugged into the system or the beings who control them. Those are souls who are asleep. Once they awaken, they can just take out all the connection and unplug themselves fully. What you're doing now, you're taking out the those metallic rods, four of them, and taking the net out from, yeah, putting it, you're just like forming a like a snowball out of it and transforming it into a huge rainbow bird that it shape shifts into butterfly, bird, butterfly. By the way, it's really interesting. I mean, this is like the second session in a row about the, oh, third one almost, about the bright colors, and second about rainbow colors. And I think we're getting to that. It's the rainbow Earth. You can
Yeah,
call it that.
yeah.
That is coming because there's gonna be all the beings from all the dimensions who are going to create something new and beautiful, because we need different ideas. We need imagination. We need all these creative abilities of all the beings from different civilizations put together to create something special here.
The
You
kids
know,
so happy about that. I can just feel them like crying out, singing, that happy, crazy laugh that children have. It's just like, yeah, they
right,
can barely contain it anymore. It's like, enough.
right. Yes, absolutely. So that's what you're excited about. I mean, you're like bursting. You're
But
flying.
I'm
You
also
like
so,
to
so
fly and
angry
check on
about what they
things.
did with my kids. I'm just so angry about it.
You know, what flashes right in front of me, it's a system. It's very hard. You cannot blame yourself because it's super hard unless you completely shield your child from all the environment. But then the programs are still, we're still in the ocean of programs. That's why you call it water. It's like we absorb it through our skin as if we were absorbing water. We're swimming, we absorb it through pores, whatever it is in it, all the information. It's like an informational field. Analogy would be space. It's another informational field. Water informational field. Air informational field. Everything is.
Feel like we can
So,
really peel it off now, can't we? It's sort of like this really thick skin, and you kind of peel it off, and there's the real skin.
right.
That's sort of that's nice.
Right. Onion, that's what you're doing. You're just like taking layers of your mental, body, emotional, all a lot of overthinking going on with you too.
Yeah.
Looks like, because you're just taking different, it's like a palette of red, purple colors that I see you're peeling off from your mental body. Emotionally, it's like you are, it comes like a fountain of youth. I came from you. Like you're always very, very young, because simply because I see you come from a different universe, as just to spread out your energy and to absorb the information and collect yourself back together into this one rainbow ball of energy and go back. But the universe you come from, it's a little different. It's like the platforms of creation, but they don't look like the earth that you show, that's a round lid on top and the circled at the bottom. And the one in your universe, it's a circle platform, but underneath it's like this. It's like a kind of cone type holding it. There's different platforms floating in space like that. The space is whatever you make out of it. You know what? It's an exercise, experimental universe where you can Go in, create anything you want, see how creation works, and come out. And I feel like you were like teaching others how to create. I see different shapes, colors, waves of light, frequency, sound, and I see you have a clock, but it goes the opposite way.
It does.
Right. Yeah, it's like a big clock. And you say I'm asking you about the clock and you say, well, that's how it should be on Earth. They did it the clockwise. It's not the clockwise, it's the opposite of the original clockwise. The original clockwise has to be this. It has to be 12, 9, 6 and 3, and that's how it should go. Because those are the numbers we're looking at. Those are the numbers so well connected in the right, from bigger to lower. That's supposed to be not the opposites.
Yeah. Start with the whole.
Yeah, because we started from bigger, we're going to kind of lower to experience the lowest of the low and then catapult ourselves out um, of it and to greatly appreciate what we got at the highest. It's a game within a game, and the only thing that keeps us from understanding this is the physicality of it, the physical body, um, the emotions of it, the pains of it, the mental hurt, the interaction with others not being understood. People don't understand. This planet is a collection of different souls from different dimensions, different planets, galaxies, universes. Therefore, we will never ever understand each other at a very deep level because we're so different. We are different. There's not a single soul alike. So we just have to accept that and use our creative abilities, different, absolutely different creative abilities, to create something multicolored, multidimensional, and
This mad
multi
system that's the opposite.
imagination based.
Oh, this mad sameness system is just trying to run the show.
Right, because you are born in the box and you sense it subconsciously, and that's why you feel the limitation from day one you're born. There's limitations of what you can do because the body is holding you from flying like you can fly in other planets. Body's holding you from walking through the walls like you can do in other, densities. So there's a lot of things that you realize you cannot do, and you can actually hurt your body and end up, at those institutions that are filled with beings who would experiment on you. So there's a lot of fear and realizations of obstacles and limitation put on you from day one, from the day you actually enter the physical body in the mother's uterus. So, and that's why, based on this, you start running a program in your physical brain, in your mind. Okay, well, I'm limited. I'm so limited. I'm afraid of doing this and that because what if I fall? A fall is associated with being hurt. It's either mental, emotional, or physical level. It doesn't matter. For a brain, it's the same. It's the word hurt. It's a red light bulb goes off, and then you don't want to make an extra step to help yourself and others out of the prison, which the doors are always open anyway. It's an illusion of the, closed door and the window that is covered with the cage. It really is. You can go through it because when you go through it, you don't have a physical body. You can shape and shift into a tiny little thread if you wanted to penetrate any surface, any little hole. Um, Yeah, that's you're saying
Oh,
all of it.
I
I'm
totally.
just
I read a short story exactly about that. That's hilarious. I must publish that.
uh,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, you have a lot of stories in your head.
Yeah.
It's and also because you believe you say that the stories are the truth, and because they are ours, they come from our subconscious, from our souls, and what is coming from outside is all artificial reality created, AI created. So you cannot trust that. Deception. Beings, the same thing. Most information is deceptive unless you take it, unless you view it and receive it. You can't receive it through anybody here. It's all crooked mirrors. It's all distorted. It distorted to the point that it distorts our thoughts. So the physical mind thinks today is going to be a beautiful day when in fact it's not going to be a beautiful day. When your subconscious warns you about something, the mind distorts it into the opposite. So if you think that, let's say, this appointment is going to go terrible, terrible, I'm afraid of it, but then you go and everything's so easy peasy, and fast. Um, it's because the mind distorted the message received from the message trying to go through the filters of your physical body
Yeah.
through physical mind,
A little
and so
mind
it
memory.
flips it.
Like a
Yeah,
little switch.
everything is
It's like a little
flipped.
switch of the circuit board that's been plugged in and just need to take it out.
Right. I see you're drawing like stick figures upside down on their heads. You're really funny. You like pull a
I have to make
board.
that story. I love that one. That's hilarious.
Yeah, you pull like a board from the side of your energy sphere and you start drawing like, see, it's upside down. See, that's how we're walking.
Oh
We
my
have to flip our bodies, flip our minds. And just put away the fog. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. Look at you. They're just like pressuring you. And then at some point, the pressure from outside becomes your own thought. And your own thought starts pressuring you from inside. That's how it's designed. It's a design of the system.
wicked. Mm. Cunning.
Yeah. Oh boy. And you know how to raise your vibration. You do it all the time. You just kind of you connect. You're very connected to nature, to flowers, freshness of it. Just being outside and just absorbing the energies of nature. You totally raise your vibration that way. And then you leave your body to space, you fly there, you connect to parts of you in space.
Mm.
And I feel like, in the state that you are, it's just impossible for any system to get you.
Oh, they try. They
Because
try.
you're like spread out. It's like, how do I get her if she is all spread out energy all over the place? You're not concentrated in any place. You're literally like a field of energy by each galaxy, um, watching a movie of this galaxy having its life. Let's say it like that. So, and you're collecting information from that movie. It's fascinating for you. You want to know it all. So, and you're like, I feel like the space, like I see the spaceship round, flat, very flat, comes with grays, and they're trying to get your attention. You're like, no, 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 I'm watching my movie. Just stay away. And they're just flying out. So, like, if they ever wanted to get you into any program like SSP or anything, like, good luck. Yeah, you're not gonna get her. She's, it's really funny
It's
how
really
you
good
you
times, I think.
it's your invention, totally. It's absolutely your invention because you spread out and you almost like fragmented yourself into molecules. The molecules split up into puddles of
Oh,
energy throughout space, And those puddles are all connected clearly with like little threads.
I showed that to myself once when I was 6. I showed myself that.
Oh, really? Yeah, and it's so like you cannot pull out a fragment. It's like beads on your necklace. You cannot take one bead, and your rope is so strong that connects them all, you cannot break it.
Mm.
But the in one bead, you like pulled it all the way. It's like a necklace, at the bottom there's something hanging like I don't know what you call it, right? Like a pendulum. That little pendulum is you on Earth. It goes around the universe, and on Earth, it's like pointing at Earth. Like, here's the problem here. Everybody look. That's
Ha!
where the problem lies.
Yeah, like a little signpost.
Yeah.
Blinky light.
Yeah. So you bounce back every time you're done with the physical incarnation, which you decide. Well, this is the first time I see like a person always goes back and chooses to come back because you feel like a little bit more, a little bit more. I have to teach a little bit more. I have to draw some pictures a little bit more on my blackboard for other souls to learn.
Well, I like this place. I do love it. I love it.
It's physicality of it that you can touch objects, right? Create something out of them.
Mm.
See how others create art, things, or you create by hand, things
Mm.
like that. That's all fascinating for you because you're like just energy. And this is, I get that this is your first physical incarnation, that
I've
you
been
actually
around
was
the planet
pretty,
for a while, though, haven't I? I've been around here.
yeah, you've been around, but I'm just saying that you totally been around. I see it's number 8. I see a 7 lives before, and the way you kind of did them, it's another string. From a string, there's, which reminds me, it reminds me if you take fairy tree, right, for Christmas tree, and you put like 8 different ornaments on it, like beautifully colored and different shapes. That's all your lives.
Oh, that's lovely.
And you just keep like with each life, you keep putting different ornament on the branch.
I love doing that stuff.
I know, yeah, decorating, yeah. Yeah, well,
And
Christmas
on
is
the
coming. Time to decorate.
list.
Yeah, it's really cute and funny at the same time. It's amazing. Yeah, really amazing imagination of what we can do with it. I mean, you just don't feel, the why you don't have space limits of space. You don't have constrictions or restrictions or boundaries put in your boundaries in your head like other people do because you're all spread out. It's like where the boundaries,
Don't
where the fence. There's no fence, right? Right. There's no walls of the box. It's endless. So that's why you're just free. When you're free like this inside, you can go through any. It doesn't matter what they tell you to do. You always find the door out. You know. So, but it's like you are like chameleon and a river flowing at the same time. So they like both things. Your DNA is like that.
Mm.
You keep changing and you can change your um, shape shift to different shapes, make yourself thin, make yourself invisible, split up when you need to split up. Imagine somebody wants to grab you as a whole energy, you disperse quickly and
Mm.
this you can't get a piece of you, you just like go. So that's pretty interesting how you do this stuff. And yeah, I asked you, so DNA. Can you show me your DNA? And you're like, well, my DNA is in everything. And
I don't actually have any.
I just create it as I go. I
Yeah.
can add a few strains. She said, yeah, you're saying it's not like that. It's just like I can create any number I want. People are too fixated on numbers. It's not like that. You can raise the number, you can lower the number by yourself. Because you are creating it. You're like a magician who does everything for yourself, shape shifts your body,
You can do it with
makes your
sound.
body, yeah, everything, creates thoughts, emotions for yourself, and I create everything for myself.
Course.
I can create happy emotion on the spot and then be sad on the spot if I wanted to, but why would I do that? You are just, you make my head spin. I feel like I'm already in space for a long time, probably like cosmonaut. Feels it. Physical body is totally like, ooh.
Stacey, well, hello. I'm woo woo beyond belief, but hey, fun.
Right. Yeah, I feel it. But it's like no contracts, no beings, just the net. You're doing great. As opposed to others. You should be doing what I'm doing. Hey,
Well, yeah,
it's
I'm
just show them the
working in
palette of
secret.
colors.
It's all in secret what I do. Woo!
Okay. Yeah. There's a lot of people, as a matter of fact, we just don't see them. They all spread out throughout the world like you. They all do it differently, but they all carry the rainbow colors. This new Earth that they call New Earth, we should call it Rainbow Earth. No
Yeah,
kidding. There's rainbow souls that come in babies. There's old rainbow souls who've been here for a while. There are rainbow souls who are here for the first time, but they're older in age. It depends, but there's a lot of rainbow energies here, and they're all needed. They suppressed us also in terms of color, and color carries vibration and information and a sound wave and everything.
that gets me so cross.
Yeah, they specifically, and you see how they programmed people? Black, white, gray, right?
Well, it's
Especially
good
when
rainbow.
the winter comes, you're depressed, you don't have much sun. Let's make you more depressed by the colors. Here you go. But
Ah,
it's different now.
makes me
It's a
want to swear.
tie-dye.
There's so much color and swear
Everybody's
words.
in tie-dye. You're like that too. But you're like rainbow tie-dye. By the way, my youngest daughter is like you. I know why you know me. I'm Rainbow Energy from Series A. She's
Mm,
a Rainbow Dolphin from Crystal Planet. She always talks about
I just listened
crystals.
to you. Yeah.
And she always asks me, Mom, I just like multicolored everything. Please get me everything tie-dye in multiple colors. So, like, that's the only thing she would wear. She's 6, but she knows what she wants. She's really clear about stuff like that. So makes her happy. She's a rainbow dolphin. She says that all the time. So,
With a little unicorn in there too, maybe.
yep. Oh, yeah, very, very determined. Cannot sway her in any direction. She would not obey,
Oh,
would not
fantastic! They're
conform.
fabulous. Yeah, I see this unicorn with her face for some reason, kind of pouring the ground.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, right.
But sparkles coming off her head.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She's yeah,
Oh,
kind of
she's
funny.
oh,
Send you pictures how she cuts her long sleeve pajamas because she says like I'm too hot, I need to cut them off the sleeves.
she's
She says
radiating
she
in
doesn't
pictures.
care what everybody else says. She just knows what she needs.
All this
But
color talk.
anyway, well, I guess you can ask questions. I don't know. I'm done with all this parts.
Oh, yum
Yeah,
yum 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 yum. Okay, it's
so.
just I think I just want some more info for the children because they're amazing. My three who came to
Mhm.
me, and they've got some. My youngest has still got quite a lot of slime on him, and I get really angry about that. maybe the anger stops me from being able to, really, really help him. Maybe we can find a way that I can find another language to communicate with him.
Yeah, it's not that you're not angry. You cannot keep low vibrational feelings inside. You really can't. That's how it's your perception. It's your expressing in physical language, right? And
Mm.
this level that you're more frustrated.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was the layers of frustration you were peeling off of you because about the system, how it programs somebody you love, right?
Yeah.
Um,
And it's so heavy, it's gloopy, and then they're so beautiful, they don't realize because their kindness is used against them, and yeah.
right, kindness used as weakness a lot of times, and it's another program in also in people. When they see that you're nice to them, they would try to take advantage of that big time.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I see some eyes over him
Yeah, I know.
looking from above. Yeah, they look like gray eyes, but it's not a gray, it's a person in a like a black suit.
Yeah.
It's what you're talking about, the agents. He's in a black suit and he's the agent of the Matrix.
Oh,
He's keeping an eye on him because he's dangerous.
he's a really bright. I saw him come. He was like a star that came into me the moment I conceived him. It was from very far away. It was like the star coming in.
As a matter of fact, if I look from far away, it's almost like he has a sign made out of fumes, but I can make out a sign. You know that radiation sign?
Yeah.
It's on his energy sphere, outside of his energy sphere of your son. It's just crazy. That's what the Grace put on. Say handle with care. But at the same time, they do it's some goopy things, but they
Yeah.
shoot them in. They shoot them in, and they first they cause the thinning out of energy sphere of protection, and then like a crack appears, and then through the crack, um,
Mm.
it goes in. It's like to me it looks like a dark green goop or
Yeah.
something like gel.
It's going to kind of take over his blood almost, if you imagine that. That's what it's sort of like, until it wants to have all of his blood for itself. It's not going to get it.
It's really weird how I see it also because it looks like a puddle of that goo. It's like a black goo, but it's dark green goo with eyes in it.
Ah,
And it's significant because it scans your body from inside. It gives all the information to those who send you to the senders, and also starts glowing inside you for them so they can find you
mhm.
if you go out of your body, they can find you in space, they can find you anywhere they want.
Yeah.
So
That'd be
you help him create
self-option, like a big vacuum cleaner to kind of spill out, like
exactly.
the right machine to create.
I was just saying that like in my mind, I start saying it, with my mouth, that you're helping him create this vacuum thing, and you said it before I did. Uh, you really, I mean, you're amazingly fast and also very smart, analytical ability, see through people, see through events, situations, clear minded, you know. Yeah, you're sucking this with a tube and this kind of bubble connected to a tube where you collect all the goo in there. So it's collected in there. And you open a portal, you show him how to do it. He opens the portal for himself, he throws it out. So done. There's also some threading system. It's like,
To his,
but
to his father, because the father was completely taken over by a kind of like a jellyfish shitty thing.
right, it's just like, yeah, maybe it looks almost like a thin tentacles of those jellyfish that look like threads, fibers,
Mm.
but it's on the outline and it goes into his It's kind of goes into the nervous system
Yeah,
almost.
down the spine. Yeah, that's I can see that like cooked into every single vertebra. It's like
Yep, it goes through it. It's like as if you're sewing something like a fabric. That's how I see it. He pulls it out. It's connected to some. It's not like a jellyfish. I see it like a box, like a machine, like technology, and it has a program in it.
it was for me. It was disguised, but it's actually like an electrode with these little electric points
Yeah,
per socket, and
yep,
it was disguised to look like something semi-natural, but it's not. It's AI. Yeah.
right. It's got a switch. They have access to the switch. That he can switch his nervous system back and forth the way they wanted the impulses. Um, so he takes the box out. With the box come the tentacles. It's like coming out and like pulling it up, and then opening like a portal in his ceiling of his energy sphere and puts it in the portal.
That's
Yeah, it's done.
Whew.
See, he's got this 44 strands of DNA,
Yeah.
and he says that, yeah, I was a young, I wasn't even formed as a star yet. I was supposed to be one, but they pulled me in.
Oh,
They sucked me in into a vacuum type machine. That box that I just removed, I was sitting in it,
oh my
and
God.
then it started growing tentacles, and tentacles formed a portal for me.
But their father was the portal of was the summoning.
It's through him, yeah,
Not
because
is
he's
he?
got
No, he's
connection.
not human.
Right, but he also resonated with you at a soul level,
Mm.
frequency wise. He wanted somebody he could safely receive needed information from to free himself because he already got caught, and this it shows to me only 9% of his decision that he could decide for himself in this incarnation. And I see number three incarnations was him, and he just knew he needed to come to you, to somebody who could support him informationally when he is ready, when he is mature enough to receive and process it. So it's like you're like his security blanket in a way for this lifetime
I
that
see a
he
great
picked.
big book now in front of him. You know, one of those massive books with ancient pages. So maybe that's what he's waiting to get to that information. It's very bright, shiny, lighted pages.
Mm, yeah, well, I see that book as something. It's like a book of his life.
Mm.
You have a book of your life also. Everybody has a book of life. It's connected to the physical body though. You're saying it's nothing to worry about, and I feel the same because it's totally connected to your physical presence on Earth. Um, once you decide to leave behind your physical body, that book stays behind with physical body, but they cannot influence you by any means or connect to you through the book. It's the matrix book of this program that you lived, that you call life in this reality.
Yeah, you can shrink it down to a little thing, which is like an anode of energy information. I get that.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. You can make a different shape and form if you want. But that's a book he's looking at that you mentioned.
So does he
Mm,
have access to everything he needs now? Can we
he
just check?
created like a interesting thing. It's like a circle. From circle, like sprinklers that go up. From circle, the water goes up. He says it's a shower, but it's the opposite of the matrix shower. It doesn't go from up to down, it goes from lower to up, and it cleanses him. I see the water is like cleansing his body, all his energy bodies, all his programming through society, friends, and all this. Yeah.
That is fabulous. That is fabulous. Oh, yes. So his sister is very, very brilliant, but she's just got a few kind of, I see like layers of clothing on one half of her body, on the right. So
It's
it's like hiding style. She's
it's
got
the worms that
on.
she's got. The worms. They created. They almost look like rings around some parts of her body.
Yeah.
You know the worms that eat wool kind of look to me like that,
Oh,
like they're biting her all the time.
yeah. Mm.
She's taking them. She's pulling them out. There are 15 of them. She's putting them in the transparent plastic box.
Mm.
Closes the lid. She says, "I'm gonna cook them now."
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's got no. That's her dry humor like that
She has
because she
such a
actually
dry sense of humor.
she puts them in the fireplace now. She set them on fire. She didn't. Yeah. For a second, she like projected this image of them being cooked and eaten, but like for fun. But yeah, and she creates a different. She creates a like an outfit, yeah, for herself, like a long coat with fluff to stay warm in the winter.
Oh my God, that's so funny. So I think she'll be able to just radiate information out, like to her boyfriend and so on. She'll just be able. She's now got all her power, hasn't she?
Yes, she's sharing. Yeah, she shares. You, we share automatically. That's what happens. I just pronounce it in the session so people understand. Because once you know something, and because we have these connections, when we have a family, we have connections. No matter what you do have an energetic connection with other people, and you share information that goes to them automatically. So they either accept it or block it or refuse it or take it and use it. So it's up to them then. You know, you did your job and they're gonna do the work.
It's because I
Just
couldn't give them that information. There were some years where I couldn't access them. So, and it's brilliant to be able to do this now. It's just absolutely
mm,
wonderful. You know, my eldest, who's got the little girl, he is so gorgeous. He's such a clean, pure being, and yet part of him, he doesn't realize how beautiful he is. He'd probably be shocked if he realized.
has a lot of like boxes
Yeah,
around him
how
with
he felt it.
programs.
Yeah.
From boxes, there's cords connected to his body, like electrodes on the surface of his skin,
Mm.
and they conduct all this kind of programming to him. When he gets distracted, that distractions causes his disconnection from the programs, and he feels good. He's in his own kind of bubble of reality. But then things like matrix related, let's say anything like banking, job, buying things, it's all related to matrix, right? That reminds him of the programming that kind of reactivates the programs in him when he's in the beauty of nature of his child and all this family time. It's different. So he almost like as if he was switching personalities in a way.
Yes, yes, completely.
Yeah, so the he's like piling up the boxes right now. You gave him big golden scissors to cut the cords. He's cutting the cords, opening a portal, and pushing all these boxes. There's so many of them. There's just like
So will he
huge.
be strong enough? Because I think there's a fear that his softness is too soft for the world. So kind of want him to give him some kind of bright fire.
Oh, you absolutely. You're giving him fire. You're shooting some things. Like you say that, let's go fireball fight. Um, but those are actually you're pretty smart because those are fireballs, but they contain information also. So every time he grabs one, he gets more information kind of reinserted into him type thing. And since he accepted the game, he accepted the information. So
So
you're
can he
acting pretty
program
much
his
like
life?
those entities act.
But in a
Yeah.
nice.
Do you want to play with me? Oh, yeah. Then it's a yes, right? I can interfere you. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, you did you did it in a smart way, like playful way, like you are anyway. Um,
So, yeah, can his energy
Not
um
to
move through
recreate the
his
boxes.
wife? Can it clear her?
Yep, yep. He's gonna do it.
Yeah.
You're gonna come. You're actually you're gonna come and check on your kids. You're this kind of mother. You're hovering over and like an security a blanket or umbrella, shielding them from all the elements. Trying to at least for sure.
They're not my responsibility, but they are. It's that kind of deal, isn't it?
You're very wise. I mean, they're not really yours, but at the same time, because they're connected to you in this life, all you can do is give them information and then give them space to decide for themselves what they want to do with it.
Is there any possibility of I just see my mother as like this thing that's just been folded and folded and folded like a piece of cardboard. Can we turn her back into a human being? Is that a possibility, or is she too kind of cardboardized? It's like this sort of spiral folding of cardboard is what I can see. I just because they love her, and I just feel like all her human life is just dissipated. It's not there. Just wondering if we can reconnect it, sort of sew it back together. Her soul.
Your mother, right? I
Yeah,
told
yeah.
your mother in the
Mm.
etheric. Yeah, because she came as a giant. It's like a piece of rock, but it's big. And when I zoomed in, it she contains of little rocks, as like a rock monster.
Yeah, yeah. She's a giant. There's a giant.
Right. Yeah, because she looks like, the Never Ending Story movie,
Yeah.
kids movie, that kind of looks like that big being that comes out,
Mm.
made
Yeah.
out of rocks.
Mm. Yeah. I've
But
been working with
she
that
has a
story.
light inside. She sustained some trauma in one of the parallel lives, and that's why, to shield herself, she turned her emotions into rocks. She turns a lot of her feelings into rocks. And
Yeah, and then
these rocks,
and at me, she really hates me sometimes.
because you represent what she blocks in herself.
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
why she's in denial with her own self.
I might melt her little rocks. That wouldn't be.
You do give her a card and you say, just look at it. It's important. There's only a few sentences to read. She opens a red card she gave her. That's like a spring with the clown popping out like from a box, those toys.
Yes.
And she's like, what is this? And she says, it's a happy toy. It's a system. The system is called Help Yourself at a soul level. And don't be scared of doing it. So she kind of grabbed it. She's trying to figure out the spring and the clown, and it's kind of funky looking thing. She says, I don't like clowns. I'm
No.
scared of them.
Ooh.
I think that's why you created one. Um,
There's a pretty face. If she lifts the clown face, there's a really sweet face underneath.
yeah, the masks. Yeah, her life is like that. It just like layers of things, masking up, masquerading for something else that she is, or pretending to have this emotion and that emotion when in reality she has a different one. That's why all these rocks for camouflage, for
Mm.
not showing her true self, because there's a light inside there. That's her soul. It didn't go anywhere else. but there's also a reptilian behind who did the hybridization with her on her.
He's a nasty guy.
Yeah,
Big
he's
tail.
his,
He's got a
yeah, oh yeah, with a tail, very tall, yeah, big, massive. He's the one who's done it to her because himself has like this big like scales, look like almost like pieces of rocks, kind of like very skin rough,
yeah.
like that.
But it looks quite shiny, kind of like mother of pearl. Sometimes he makes himself look kind of pretty.
It's like yeah, there's just types of reptilians, chameleons one, chameleon ones. Sorry, so that's a type that can be, but they also force dimensions so they can shapeshift into anything they want. They want you to see or perceive and maybe look themselves more beautiful because they also have that. You know,
Yeah, boyfriends.
yeah. Well, so the subconscious of a human doesn't get as scared. They would shapeshift into something rather beautiful or at least something more acceptable than the way they look. Um, but yeah, she's connected to him through the like right shoulder and the back and the lower back.
He's lovely, isn't she? We just need to be able to let her see it for what it is. I don't know if that's a possibility. Let her actually turn around and see it.
Yes, yeah, yeah. You put a mirror there, like a huge one. You said, "Hey, you're in the Matrix. Wait, welcome to the smoke and mirror reality." And here you go. Whom you got? Your friend. She gets scared holding this clown. You're funny. I get a feeling from her she's had enough of you because you're like a jumpy ball around her and it's never ending story with you. And she's in her like gray clouds. You know?
How dare you?
She's so serious and takes life seriously and you're such bubbly. Yeah. Well, she saw the reptilian. She says, it's gonna take me time to figure that one out, but I feel it's gonna be like for her 4 or 5 months. That's what I get from her subconscious.
She can still do it while she's alive, actually. She'll be able to do it still, won't she? That's
Oh,
what I get.
yeah. If I fast forward, yep. Oh, you're gonna do a lot of work with them. Like I said, you're all spread out and you come visit everybody and check on everybody's progress.
Mm.
You're not like a control freak by any means, but you just like to see how it's going because you're curious, and that's what keeps you in this universe. You're curious how this all gonna end.
Just like my granddaughter, she's so curious. It's the same the way she looks. She just looks. It's hilarious. Yeah,
Mm,
she's a
yeah.
similar scientist, I think.
Mhm.
Um, can we do anything with the father of the children or not?
Spider there, big
Mm.
fluffy fuzzy, connected to Mars. Cave.
Yes.
He's stuck in the cave. Cocoon. I've seen this so many times before. They make you the cocoon or egg shaped thingy,
Yeah.
and they siphon the energy to get the energy.
Is that the Nazi technology?
Yeah, because to handle a soul, you have to put a soul in a container.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You know, he was born in his container. He was born in that sack.
Right.
Mm.
So yeah, well, totally like that. It looks like a little semi-transparent egg. You come to it, you zap it with your energy. It's high vibrational. It's basically turns, let's say, he's minus 25 in vibration, and you made it plus 25. So the structure just got destroyed, and then you put more vibration higher, higher, and it burns it up and destroys it completely.
I see a
And
little pink dragon. I don't know whether you see that at all. Like this little pink dragon
he's,
watching.
he,
Yeah.
I see that he's got some dragon DNA in him, but I actually see a lot of white dragon DNA, like original white dragons.
Mhm.
those are positive ones. They're kind of got like the fuzz on them, like a fluffy.
Yes, yes, yeah, I can see that. If we could awaken that, that would be amazing.
Yeah, it just he got hybridized, so 13% was a spider. We would
Ugh.
put venom into him to hybridize him, mutate his DNA. So he's gonna have to undo that. You're telling him how to do it. Disconnect from a spider. Open a portal. Show the spider out. And some triangular implants that he's
Yeah.
got in his heart and head and back.
Mm.
And also some chips in the wrists of his hands, arms.
Yeah,
Those are taken out, and there's something in the feet also.
yeah, yeah, like
You
in
know.
the sole of the feet near the front.
Oh boy, there's one sec. There's just like energy in the throat also. Like it's almost like they put an implant, energetic implant, so he can't scream, he can't help, he cannot ask for help.
Right.
Like that.
Yeah, and then he just shrinks. Yeah.
He's taking all the implants out. Yep. Right now it's a huge pile of them, and just throw like this bright yellow portal with the bright yellow energy of the sun that melts the all the implants you just took out, and you collect this energy and put it into almost like a candle, and he takes the candle around himself to burn up all these artificially designed spider web around him. It's like programming of some sort.
Yeah, it's like a whole lot of swirling runes kind of swirling in spirals around him.
Yeah,
It's
it's a construction. It's the outsides and not the exoskeleton, but outside skeleton of some kind. And you burn it up with him. The implants out. He just came out and he left that spider behind. So there was no reason to throw him in out, but he rather pulled on to himself his own energy sphere and left the spider in the cave, and he's right now standing next to you in his energy sphere, and he says he's flickering his DNA, kind of like a funny word he got. There's 70 strands, so of this white dragon, he got back to original form. He's been a lot of dragons. There's been like this light gray dragon also, but they all share this one interesting thing that they all covered with this fuzz, like a beautiful soft fuzzy thing, hairs. Um, yeah,
yeah, no wonder
he
he and my
himself.
mother, the reptilian influence, amazing, fascinating, isn't it? How these attractional fields get pulled across.
Mm,
Can we still look at my father, who's a child trapped in a box, but he's genius.
he said that at some platform, it's connected. It's very close to Earth in one of those layers. It's monitored by reptilians also. No clothes, just green reptilian body. Short, more like executors or soldiers or somebody watchers, security type. And it's not a box that I see. I see like a artificially created like a tube, and it's got leads, and he's inside the tube. There's so many of them. There's so many. There's over 100 tubes on this platform. They're all connected with the wiring system, like a cable system where they collect the energy. They collect the energy into the big container under the. Oh, it's like a self-propelled platform. So the energy is collected into this barrel underneath, which they use for it's like a gas station. That's the only thing I can
Ah,
for other flying objects, the spaceships that come and they can connect through the roof actually and absorb the energy through the roof into their object. And I see grays coming and
they're using the thoughts, aren't they, as the energy?
mm, yeah, that this energy totally it flows freely into the spaceship because they actually need it not for activating spaceship or driving it, not for fuel, but more for some experimentation, for running their machines smoothly that they use on board of the ship, of the craft.
Um, his wife is part of that system, isn't she?
Mm-hmm. No, it's just one of there's
Yeah.
it's kind of like they divided the platform into squares, and I think those squares have the illusion of being in this kind of soul members or something, or soul family members. They always incarnate together. And because when he opened the lid up, there's like a few more people. I think there are four.
Mm.
Four more people opened up the leads at the same time with him because he shared information. Obviously, he has connections with them. And they just, but they do fly in different directions. So that means they don't come from the same place. They come from different places. Just were artificially connected through the probably some programs designed for lives that they've had together. Well, he got disconnected and he flew away like this white energy. Uh,
Mm.
he released himself. I wanted to check on his planet.
Kind of like like a little ball with a white blue flame going zoop.
Yep.
Mm. Well, you went through my family.
Yay! I've been through a lot here. I've seen a
Wow.
lot.
Do you know there's only one other thing, and then it's because you know the net and the and because I don't like the matrix, so I don't like money, but of course I need some. I kind of just need to find a chunk of gold in a river one day, or you know that sort of thing. That's you know what I mean. I
Hey,
just
leprechauns, go
yeah,
to
I just get it
Ireland and
from
close.
the nature. Yeah.
No, think of it as it is. I know what you mean. I totally I've had the same problem with that money system and stuff.
Just like
Yeah,
going.
it
No,
just
I need no, but going.
yeah, think about it like you have the body. For you to make a difference in this world, you need this body. So you need to provide food for it so it functions, fuel, right? You need fuel. You need a lot of maintenance, and this maintenance costs you need energy for it. Just like they get energy for their spaceships and their equipment from us, we need energy. It happens to be called money. You can call it anything, apples in your mind. And just like I need apples to feed myself,
I
so
just see
I
myself
mean,
billing the Matrix for X amount of dollars, you know, say this is what I need now. It's kind of like writing a check
yeah,
to the Matrix.
I
You got to
mean,
deliver this.
yeah, just don't focus on it, but at the same time, it kind of provides for you to actually exist. I mean, how can you exist? Can you take care of yourself if there's no energy exchange? Because actually, energy exchange is needed in between people. Also, I learned it in a bad way, in a way, when I used to help too many people at the same time and would not take anything from them, even though they wanted to give me something. And I was like, no, no, no. And then I got physically sick because I was given out so much, depleting myself energetically at energy body level, physical body level, and not replacing it as anything. It doesn't work that way. We have to have this, it's like a number eight flow.
So are
This
we
flow from
creating?
this part and from this part, and they connect. You
So am
give
I
something,
brand
they give
money
you
energy?
back.
That's what I'm looking to create. You know, that other the flamey, fiery kind of money energy, rather than the blue, grey, black kind of matrix money energy. That's what I kind of want to tap in.
You can start imagining. I mean, especially these days, people, pay through the system and you just get the numbers on your account.
Yeah.
So you can imagine these numbers to be whatever you want to be. I imagine them to be little birds that I'm actually in my mind, because we with kids we have this thing that we save birds a lot, and especially in the winter. So I'm like saving birds. I use the money to buy seeds for the birds to feed them in the winter, to buy nuts and to feed squirrels with kids every day. I mean, it's just like whatever you make out of it, your perspective, how you look at it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, just need to add that imagination to it. I think I just felt it was very concrete, you know, kind of like like metal stuck in concrete, stuck in a heavy weight.
Ah,
You
see,
know,
it's the way you look at it. That's what
that's
blocking you. Yeah, there's a lot of things can block you. You don't feel confident, or you don't feel. Some people feel like somebody said something to them, they believed in it, made it their program, and that program is blocking them from receiving that energy of money into their life, because money is freedom. That's what it is. You want to move somewhere, you need to have enough money to make a move, right?
yeah, yeah.
So there's things like that. It just, but I mean, you're not fixated on it. That's a deal. Because people who get in the process fixated on them, everything that they created before falls apart. I've seen it multiple times happening to people.
Well, then you do it for that, not for the actual real business.
Right. Yeah. What's the purpose? Why are you doing it for? Are you helping? Are you doing it for helping others and yourself in the process in a way, because you always learn through others? Or you're doing it solely to earn, the freedom, the money, whatever, for something, to buy a house or to move or whatever. It always depends what the focus of your attention is. The focus should be on the fun part. Oh, I'm having fun, and in the process I'm helping people, and that's what you do anyway. You shouldn't be worried about this.
Oh no, it's only when I think I should have something that other people have. You know, if I ever pretend I'm a normal person.
Yeah, don't pretend you cannot be a normal person. You really it's like a crowd of people dressed in black, and you're like the one in multicolored coat. I mean, how can you? You're done with questions, right? For the
Yeah,
abnormal
I've done the
person.
questions. You must be exhausted.
I mean, I just remember the picture my friend took, and she's like that too. She always wants to be different, and she took a picture of herself in the lunch hour of all the people going for lunch from all the busy buildings, business buildings in Chicago, and like selfie, people behind her crossing the street, all in black coats, all black hats, black coats, everything black, you know what I mean? And she's standing in the red puffy coat. It's the most beautiful picture I've ever seen. It represents the matrix. They want us to be like that, like black ants, all the in the hive. But anyway, thank you so much. It was so
You
much
so
fun.
much. It was
Uh,
amazing. It was. Are you exhausted, or you? I don't.
I
Did
get
you?
tired after an hour because I put a lot of energy. It takes pictures I see and I have to interpret it physically. If I could speak telepathically, I would not spend as much energy, but
But you
all
were
the
as well, because I was seeing what you were seeing a lot of the time.
right,
So
it's like in my head, it's like Russian, Ukrainian, Italian, English languages,
yeah.
because I turn, it's the irrational mind turns off about 40% I guess, when you go into trance. So sometimes it's hard to find words or explain what you see, and what you see is energy and different shapes and colors, and like what you compare it to, what metaphor you use. But anyway,
big discipline, isn't it? Coming in that
yeah,
ability
you have to
to
hold yourself together and focus. Yeah.
Hang on a moment, there's a whole universe here, and it's got to work.
Young spirit. Oh, in the yeah, with the wise everything, wisdom to it. It's amazing. Okay, I'm turning it off. Thanks.